Welcome Canada, coast to coast. This is RCTV and I'm your host Nick Rack. On this week's episode, we are coming from the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum in Hamilton, Ontario. On this week's episode, we will have a father and son team doing some off-road racing and some jet boat racing. And then we have Peter Ayosh with a jet that cost $28,000 that he hand-built. It has a custom paint job and you'll love that one. And for all you comic fans, the Green Lantern. That one's self-explanatory. Check this out.
Eliminator RC presents RCTV, your radio-controlled authority. Brought to you in part by RC Pit Stop, bringing the best of RC to BC since 1989. And John's Hobbies, Toronto's local hobby store. With your host, Nick Rack.
Hey, this is Roger for RCTV. We are in Kawartha Lakes with the Kawartha boat modelers.
Marine modelers.
Marine modelers.
We're a club that builds scale ship models. Scratch built all the way to kits. Mostly electric, some steam, and a few sail, I guess. Some of the kits can take 3 or 4 years for some of them. Some more complicated kits.
And they come out and assemble together and run them?
We operate them, yeah. And as I said, we're the scale models of actual real ships, real boats.
And some you said are actual steam powered?
Some are actual steam powered. We have had several in the club that are actual steam. We don't have any here today. These are all electric, you know. We're not putting high speed into most of these boats, so lithium batteries are really not required.
Right, that sounds fantastic. Let's go take a look.
All right.
All right, so we're speaking with John. I've got my feet in the water, so do you. What else do we have in the water?
Well, we've got a model out there of the SS Master. Right now it's a preserved Canadian steam tug out of Vancouver. It was one of a fleet that were built in the 1920s for hauling log booms down the west coast from the logging operations down to Vancouver. And a scratch built the upper works on that one from photographs of the full-size one.
And you had an existing hull then you worked from?
Yeah. Stern squared off a little bit more on the full-size one, but it worked out pretty close anyway.
It's got some nice lines to it on the water.
Yeah, classic lines. Like,
Yeah, right.
I kind of like the classic tug look.
Yeah.
But the upper work's all woodwork.
Yeah, that's quite beautiful on the water.
Oh, it's Christmas colors, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, we're speaking with Ian here today.
Yeah.
And Ian, what do you got out in the water now?
Well, that's a model of a one-off boat built for Edsel Ford, so he could commute to work down the St. Clair River, presumably when the weather permitted. I don't know how often it was used for the purpose intended. It eventually fell into the hands of Howard Hughes. After Howard Hughes got it, the original one burned at its birth. Subsequently, an 80% model was built, and this is a model of that reproduction.
It's got a beautiful wood finish on the top of it there. Did you do all that work?
Oh yes, there's about 20 coats of varnish on and about 16 sanded off.
And that is actual all mahogany, is that right?
Yes.
Hey Mike, what have you brought with you today?
I've got a Scottish West Coast freighter, fiberglass hull, single prop, and it's 132 scale, built around the 1930s.
Right.
And what it used to do was just go out to all the small outlying islands on the west coast of Scotland and deliver all their whatever they needed to survive. And
So how long did it take you to put that together then?
8 months. It's called a Clyde Puffer because of the noise of the steam engine. It's very heavily weathered, like it's supposed to be never seen the inside of a shipyard since the day it left, so it's pretty grimy looking, like it's hopefully the real thing looking.
You've given it some age then.
Yeah.
So what got you involved into model boating?
I'd always liked building things, and I tried model railroads and kind of found I was in the basement all the time. And the club was running an open house. I went over there and talked to a few of the guys, and they're very, very helpful and kind of steer you on the right path, what kits are good, what are not so good. Like, they're a really good bunch of modelers themselves, so it was great to start and have a lot of good advice as to what to do and what not to do.
If you have a fire on board, you're in luck.
Well, he actually is an ex-fire chief out of Toronto.
And Jared, I think you're putting out some fires over there, aren't you?
Yes, yeah.
And is that a kit that you're operating there?
No, these are fully scratch-built hulls, and this still has to be completed. There's still lights and a few other things that be put on it. And these Springer hulls, there's a pattern for them, and it's a good tug to get involved in anybody who wants to get involved with scratch building. When we do our meetings, we usually put on seminars. We're doing stuff with different guys. And John's done a lot of stuff with paints and decals, and I'll do stuff on weathering, and because I've got a number of other boats too.
So you're sharing the skills with each other then?
Oh yeah, well that's the whole idea of it.
And what are you operating today?
Well, I've got a scale model logging boom boat. Was out in BC and actually Cowichan Bay a couple of years ago, and I saw a boat that very much looked like this. They use it for moving the logs around, and you see they're very maneuverable.
Even though it's small, it looks like it's a big scale. Do you know the scale of that?
Well, the little guy, it's about 1/6.
1/6, yes.
The real one's only about 18 feet long. So this is, we had this project in our club to all build what's called a Springer tug. So the hull's the same for a lot of guys, and we just build different top works. And I thought this would be kind of cool for this little vehicle. You can see it's a little top heavy.
I guess you got the action figure on the inside.
Yeah.
We've had a great day with the Kawartha Marine Modelers. Got the shirt on, socks off, sun shines out, and we're out in the water. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Great afternoon. Thank you.
Cheers.